Hello guys and welcome to a new episode of the Football Show. As today we're going to talk about yesterday's Premier League games and also games from other European leagues. So let's get started. Let's start with yesterday's Premier League games. First game, Manchester United against Fulham. Manchester United win 3-2. A very good win for Manchester United, an important win. And you know, it wasn't easy. Fulham are a good team actually. Fulham are a good team, they play good football, they're not an easy team to play against. And you know, the first half, I felt like Fulham had some chances. They create chances and made it difficult for United. Then, when United went 1-0 up in the first half, a goal from Casemiro, you think like, okay, United go and get the second goal and kill the game off. But Fulham kept going. They kept going, and Fulham are a good team. You know, they're not a team that is like park the bus and play on the counter attack. They're a team like that tries to play good football and tries to go for it sometimes. But even if you play a low block, it can work, especially because most of the big teams, when they play against small teams, it kind of can be a problem for those teams, for the big teams when they play a low block against a low block. But Fulham, I thought they played quite well. You know, Le Mans had to make some good saves. I mean, this season Le Mans, he's been, you know, very good for Manchester United. I thought his performance was very good, and this one, when he made two good saves. He was for sure one of the key people to Man United's victory. And United won 1-0 up. I mean, Casemiro is going to leave at the end of the season, but his performances recently has been very impressive and starting to make United fans realize, oh, maybe we should have kept him. But you know, it's a couple of good games, but he was very good. He scored, and the second goal, Cunha, 2-0 to United. Fulham had a goal disallowed due to offside, which I'm not really sure that was really offside, but sometimes with semi-automated offside with the people who draw the line, sometimes it's difficult to trust them. But despite that, Fulham managed to find a way to come back. They scored the equal to make it 2-1 in penalty from Jimenez, and then they scored the equalizer at the 91th minute from Kevin, 2-2. And you think like Fulham have completed an amazing comeback. How this Manchester United team throw that away? But in the 94th minute, the theatre of dreams, Sesko steps up, scores the winner for Manchester United, and gives huge 3 points and avoids a kind of a disaster, let's say, potential for United. Because if United did win this game and they drew 2-2, considering they were 2-0 up, it would have been, for sure, it would have been disappointing. So Sesko scored the winning goal, and I mean, United win this game, but I'm pretty sure the United players and the Carrick would have liked the win in a more simple way than it did happen. But very good, very important win for Manchester United. They are still fourth. They got up to fourth. They're 1 point clear of Chelsea and 2 points clear of Liverpool. Aston Villa lost their game at home to Brentford, who are in a good run of form, and they've been fantastic this season. I mean, despite they were 1-0 down they were men down, I should say. They were men down. Kevin Sheets, with the red card. However, Brentford got themselves a lead before half-time from Dango Otora. And in second half, it was the most basic anti-football, defensive style, park the bus style from Brentford you're going to ever see. And rightly so, because very good side. You're away from home, and Villa usually have a good record at home. And Brentford, they were up against it. They were down to 10 men, and they managed a way. They managed to find a way to get the 3 points. They got a goal before half time, and in the second half, Villa had like 25 shots, but I thought like Brentford defended fantastically well. They defended for their lives, and they worked really hard for that win. So you have to give them a lot of credit to the Brentford players and the coach Keith Andrews, who's done a very good job this season. Whereas Aston Villa, it's kind of a missed opportunity because Brentford were down to 10 men. So it's a kind of missed opportunity from Aston Villa's side. And you look at, obviously there was another game as well, Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest, and they were 1-1 draw. And you look at the battle for the top 4, top 5, top 6, I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, Aston Villa, they're third in the Premier League, but if you look at the gap to Manchester United, it's not that big. It's only 6 points. So Aston Villa are only 6 points ahead of Man United, 7 points clear of Chelsea, and there are 7 points clear of Liverpool. I'm sorry, I should say Aston Villa 5 points clear of Man United, 6 points clear of Chelsea, and 7 points clear of Liverpool. So the gap isn't that big. I mean, Like Aston Villa have been performing really well, but started to have some blips recently, losing to Everton, losing to Brentford. Could they be stuck in there in that top four, top three battle for the Champions League places with Man United and Chelsea and Liverpool? I mean, if they obviously they've got, if you look at until like April, May, they've got good fixtures. Listen, they're not easy games in the Premier League, but they've got fixtures where you think like, oh, it's a bit soft. Because if you look at the last 3 games in the Premier League, they've got Tottenham, they've got Burnley away, who are fighting for relegation, Liverpool, and then they've got City away. So they've got really tricky games towards the end of the season. So Aston Villa have to capitalise on those fixtures before they play the last those 4 games I mentioned. So it's going to be very key. Very key how Aston Villa approach, and then let's not forget they've got the Europa League, they've got the FA Cup to play for. So yeah, I still think Aston Villa should finish in the Champions League places. However, they have to be careful that they don't drop too many points, unless they will get be involved in a battle with Man United and Chelsea and Liverpool. So United are they're in a winning spirit. They are winning games on the Carrick with the new manager Bounce, similar to Chelsea as well. So let's see if they continue with that good form or not. Liverpool, they had a great win against Newcastle, but they have to do it in a consistent basis. So, yeah, Brentford is going to be difficult for them. I mean, they had a good season so far, but I don't think they were going to be involved in that top 4, top 5 battle, I think. So, yeah. Let's move on to the final game: Tottenham against Manchester City, and wow, that was a great game. I mean, it was a game of 2 halves. Manchester City in the first half were absolutely destroying Tottenham. Man City were 2-0 up, goals from Cherki and Semenyo. Cherki and Semenyo were cooking, and City were looking really good in the first half, really good. And I was surprised by how poor Tottenham were. Listen, I know Tottenham have been poor this season, but like, I was surprised at the no spirit, no fighting spirit, no encouragement from the fans, no togetherness, no fight. I was like, because when you hear in social media people say that Spurs fans would rather lose to Man City because it would avoid Arsenal from winning the Premier League. To be honest with you, watching that performance from Tottenham in the first half, it looked like that way. It looked like that way. It looked like they wanted to lose this game so Tottenham and Arsenal don't win the Premier League, because there was no passion. There was nothing from Tottenham's side in that first half. Listen, you know me, guys, I don't believe in this kind of conspiracy theories, but like it looked like that, because in that first half, I mean, that was so bad. And yes, I know Tottenham is struggling, but when you're at home, when you play against Manchester City in front of your crowd, you expected to have them as a 12th man. They were quite as well, the fans, and Tottenham was so abject in that first half. But you have to give them a lot of credit, because in that second half, they came back like absolute warriors. They came back absolutely fantastic. It was a good comeback. And yes, you could say the 2 goals came. The first goal where it was maybe the goal should have been disallowed, which I'm going to talk about it, and the second goal came from individual brilliance from Solanke, the scorpion kick. But even before the goal, like, Tottenham were pushing. They started to push, and they started creating more chances. Even before they scored the first goal from Solanke. So, Tottenham were there even from the first minute in the second half. So it's not like Man City were dominating the whole game, and that goal changed absolutely everything. No, Tottenham they started to come from that start of second half, and Tottenham scored that first goal from Solanke, and the second goal. Oh, what an amazing goal! What an amazing goal! I mean, the XG was I think 0.4 goal, which shows why expected goals means absolutely nothing. But what a great goal! That scorpion kick, amazing. That's for sure. You could say easily the goal of the season. Easy, amazing goal, fantastic. And yeah, Solanke really stepped up big time for Tottenham, considering when they needed someone like him to step up, and especially Tottenham was struggling in the first half. He really delivered in that second half. So well done to him. And then you look at that first goal. I mean, yeah, it should have been disallowed. It should have been disallowed, because I've looked at it. Listen, when I looked at the goal the first time, I was like, what's the problem? But when I watched it after the game, when the game finished, and obviously the pundits talk about it, etc., I was like, yeah, that should have been a foul, because if that wasn't a penalty book, if that was the other end, if let's say Solanke kicks Mark Gay in the other end, let's say in the when Man City tried to score the goal in front of Tottenham, that's a penalty for Manchester City. So in my opinion, that should have been a foul. I think that should be a foul. People say, oh, but he touched the ball first before kick. No, if you look at the images very closely and the video very closely, you find out that he kicked Gay first and then he made the shot. So I think that should have been a foul. I understand a little bit because it's difficult to predict sometimes, but I think it should have been a foul. Clearly should have been a foul in my opinion because he kicked Mark Gay first. So yeah. But VAR didn't check it. I felt like also Rodri should have been sent off towards the end. I felt like he was a bit lucky not to be sent off as well. I mean, in general, the referee had a very poor game, very poor game once again. So, but that's the levels of the Premier League in terms of refereeing. But good fight back, good comeback from Tottenham and from Thomas Frank, considering they were 2-0 down in the first half, etc. And yes, they didn't win this match. And yes, they gained only 1 point, but I think that what they can take positives from that first half is that from that second half, and Thomas Frank and the Tottenham fans and the players is that the fighting spirit is there, the qualities we have is still there. So if you can play like that in the second half as we did, if we play like that in the upcoming games, then I think Tottenham should improve and get better in terms of the results and performances. So yeah. But sometimes it's difficult to predict with Tottenham at times, and they've got a big game coming up, United away. So yeah. But for Manchester City, I mean, yeah, this feels a massive, big missed opportunity. I mean, you're 2-0 up. Obviously, Arsenal won their game before. It was an opportunity for you to bounce back, to respond back, and Man City did that. They were winning 2-0 in the first half. Everything was looking good for them. But in that second half, I mean. It looked like the players got complacent or something, or I don't know. I don't know really what happened. It was a game of two halves. Like Tottenham were poor in the first half, Tottenham were great in the second half. Man City were great in the first half, City were poor in the second half. So I don't know. You can feel the players, like some of them got a bit complacent. They're thinking like, oh, the game is done, it's finished. And also on the other side as well is that. I have to say Haaland, I don't think he had his best game. He didn't have a good game. I mean, he's been struggling in form recently, even though he scored against Galatasaray. He got an assist in the first half, but again, in terms of trying to score, it wasn't the best performance in my opinion from Haaland's side. And Rodri, I don't think it was a good performance from him. And City, yes, I understand that the first goal they conceded, some of the City players and Guardiola after the game felt a bit aggrieved when the decision went against him. So I can understand that because it clearly, changed the game, of course. But you have to also say for the first minute until the last in the second half, Tottenham were better than you, and City they felt like the game was done. So yes, even if Tottenham scored that goal, and that should have been the start for that first goal. City are still winning. Why can't they try to score the second goal? Because the first half going forward, I thought City were very good, but in the second half going forward, I don't remember many big chances from them. They were not that great in the going forward in that second half. So did the play switch off? Did Guardiola change tactics? I don't know. Like they were for sure not. It wasn't a good performance at all from City, and they looked. It was a completely different side in terms of performance from City first half compared to the second half. And this is a feels mixed. Yeah, like I said, this is a missed big opportunity. Considering you're 2-0 up, you have a good opportunity to make that gap to 4 points, and you drop points. So it's now 6 points between them and Arsenal. And City have got a big game away from home coming up after the Carabao Cup game where they play Liverpool away. And we all know Man City at Anfield, they never do well. So yeah, it feels a big missed opportunity. And listen, Arsenal are the favourites, and I still say that now. I said they were the favourites before, and I still say it now. But at the same time, it's only 6 points. It's still with 14 games to go. I won't say it's over, because some people say it's over, but for sure, this City side is not, I said it before, I'll say it again, this City side is not capable of going 14, 16 winning game streak. It's not capable of that. I don't think that they're capable of that. So yeah, as I said before, they remind me of the team of the Liverpool team under Jurgen Klopp, where it's a good rebuilding side, a good team, but it's still not there yet. So it's not the finished article. It's a Man City 2.0, let's say. They're making a Man City, Guardiola's making a Man City 2.0, but still, it's not there yet.